Welcome back to the Deep Dive. So I've got a really interesting stack of source material today. One of you actually sent this over. It's a transcript from a YouTube video. And it goes deep, really deep, into this idea that energy manipulation isn't, just some theory, but like a real force, something you can use right now to sort of shape your reality. This source, it pulls from, its interpretations of quantum physics experiments, and then it mixes in ideas, it says, are from like ancient knowledge. The core message seems to be that your thoughts, your emotions, they're not just inside you, they're like powerful energies broadcasting out, actually influencing the world. So our mission today, for this deep dive, we're going to unpack what this source is claiming. We'll pull out the key ideas, the nuggets it highlights, and really try to understand what this source says this hidden force is and, how you might even use it. We're sticking strictly to what's in this material you sent.
It's definitely an intriguing mix, trying to connect these really complex scientific concepts with something that feels very, personal empowerment almost. Understanding how it claims to make those connections and what it thinks they mean.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the interesting part to dig into.
Okay, let's get into it then. The source doesn't mess around. It starts with a pretty bold claim right off the bat.
Okay.
That reality, it's not fixed. It's not just out there. It's something your mind is like actively creating.
Right. And it immediately goes to quantum physics for its proof points as it sees them. It brings up the double-slit experiment first. Now, typically, physicists talk about this showing particles acting differently when measured, wave versus particle. But this source interprets it to mean, and this is a direct quote it uses, the act of observing something actually changes what it is.
Okay, so the nugget there, what the source wants you to take away, is that if tiny particles change when we look, maybe our consciousness affects our bigger reality too.
That's exactly the leap it makes, yeah. And it builds on that. It brings in Schrödinger's cat next, the thought experiment. Cat in a box, alive and dead until you look. The source uses this to argue that until you observe something in your life or make a decision about it, it just exists as a wave of infinite possibilities.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that's where it gets really personal for you, the listener, according to the source. What does it claim this means for your life?
Well, the source's take is this. If there are infinite possibilities, then different versions of your life, the successful you, the healthy you, they already exist, as potentials. It argues most people just keep observing the same old reality, reinforcing it, never really choosing another possibility. So the key idea, the source says, is that your focus isn't just noticing things. Your focus actively selects or shapes which possibility becomes real for you.
Your focus as the sculptor. I like that. Okay. Building on that, the source then claims your brain isn't just like biological wiring. It's a quantum computer. And thoughts. They're not just ideas, but actual energy forces.
Yeah. The source claims science has now confirmed this, that the brain processes millions of energetic calculations a second. It specifically points to physicists Sir Roger Penrose and Dr. Stuart Hameroff. Their theory about microtubules inside neurons, the source interprets their theory to mean these microtubules act as quantum processors, and this supposedly lets your subconscious mind directly alter quantum waves in the universe.
Directly alter quantum waves. That's a pretty significant claim.
It is, and the source runs with it. It says your thoughts don't just stay in your head, they extend beyond your body, and they broadcast measurable electromagnetic frequencies out into what it calls the quantum field. And this field, it claims, connects you to the entire field of reality, everything.
Okay, hang on. So the picture is thoughts are energy broadcast by your quantum computer brain, connecting you to everything through this quantum field. So what's the big takeaway from that? What's the source conclude?
The source's conclusion is pretty direct. If you can consciously change your main thoughts and feelings, basically, change what you're broadcasting, you shift your whole energy field. And then, the source says, quite confidently, reality has no choice but to reorganize itself around you.
Wow.
Yeah. The nugget seems to be change your energy, and reality has to follow. It presents it like a law of physics almost.
So it's not just think positive. It's a fundamental energy shift that the force claims forces reality to change. But then it makes a really key distinction, doesn't it? It's not just about thinking something, it's about feeling it.
Yes, this is crucial in the source material. Huge emphasis on the emotion. It argues the big mistake people make is, say, thinking about being wealthy, but still feeling like they don't have enough, feeling lack or doubt. The source claims that if you feel scarcity while thinking of wealth, your dominant broadcast, your frequency, is actually scarcity. You're broadcasting uncertainty.
Okay. So the feeling overrides the thought in terms of the energy signal. That's the idea.
That's exactly what the source argues. It calls the secret this. You have to feel the reality you want before it exists. You need to embody that future state emotionally right now. Feel the joy, the relief, the confidence as if it's already happened. The source claims this immediate emotional shift changes your energy field and acts like a magnet, pulling that reality towards you. Emotion is the engine, basically.
Feel the reality you want before it exists. That's the core instruction here. And this focus on feeling leads to another claim that might surprise people. The source says the heart, not the brain, is the most powerful energy controller.
It tries to back this up with what it presents as science. It states the heart's electromagnetic field is proven to be 5,000 times stronger than the brain's. So based on that number, the source argues your emotions linked powerfully to the heart carry way more energetic clout than just thoughts alone in terms of broadcasting into that field.
And it connects this to, like, everyday life experiences.
Yeah, absolutely. It argues this explains why sometimes when you feel genuinely good, confident, grateful things just seem to click. Opportunities pop up, people are helpful. And the opposite, when you feel fear or doubt, things seem to go wrong, you hit roadblocks. The source says this is directly tied to the frequency your heart's field is broadcasting.
Does it mention any specific research groups on this heart thing?
It does. It mentions the HeartMath Institute and their research on something called heart-brain coherence. The source describes this as a state where your heart's feelings and your brain's thoughts align perfectly. They synchronize. And it claims when you hit this state, your whole electromagnetic field expands, it gets stronger, synchronizing your body, mind, and critically your external reality, making manifestation much more powerful.
Okay, so aligning heart and mind amplifies your energetic influence. That's the nugget there.
Precisely.
This idea of influence and connection then leads the source into entanglement, right? Another quantum concept.
Exactly. The source brings in Dr. Rupert Sheldrake's research here, and it applies the idea of quantum entanglement to people, to our brains and energy fields.
Okay, entanglement in physics. Particles linked instantly over distance. How does the source translate that to us?
It interprets it to mean our energy fields can literally sync up, even if we're far apart. And it claims this is the real explanation for those weird coincidences. Like, you think of someone intensely and bam, they call.
Or walking into a room and just feeling the vibe.
Yeah, or having a really strong gut feeling that turns out right. The source says these aren't just random. They're examples of this energetic connection.
So the source is arguing these are actual energetic transmissions happening between people.
That's the claim. Your energy field isn't just you, it's actively shaping the world around you. And it even says your thoughts and emotions are being picked up by others before you even say a word.
Wow.
The nugget here is this constant, unseen, energetic dialogue. You're influencing and being influenced all the time, according to the source.
That's a really potent idea.
Right.
So how does it tie this back to shaping your own reality, this interconnectedness?
It links it straight back to your frequency, which the source uses as shorthand for your dominant energy state based on your usual thoughts and feelings. It claims this frequency is like your personal signal. It determines what resonates with you: opportunities, people, money. If your frequency is low, fear, doubt, you repel things. If it's high, certainty, gratitude, you attract them like a magnet. That's the source's model.
Your frequency is your reality filter or magnet. Okay. Then the source really hammers home the idea of focus. What you focus on expands.
Yes. And it connects this to neuroscience, mentioning Dr. Joe Dispenza, the phrase neurons that fire together, wire together. The source uses this to argue that focusing on negative stuff, replaying worries, you're literally strengthening the brain pathways that make that negativity more likely to be your reality.
So negative focus isn't just unpleasant thinking. It's like biologically reinforcing the reality you don't want, according to the source. And it also argues success isn't just about hard work, but alignment. What's that about?
That's a really key distinction the source makes. It suggests pure effort isn't enough if you're not energetically aligned. It introduces this idea of your vibrational set point, like your default baseline energy level, your habit.
And what sets that deep vibrational level, according to the source?
It brings in Dr. Bruce Lipton's work here, claiming the subconscious mind runs like 95% of the show. So the source argues if you have deep subconscious beliefs like I'm not worthy of success or money is hard to come by, those beliefs will unconsciously repel what you want, even if you consciously desire it.
Leading to self-sabotage.
Exactly. That's how the source explains it. So the critical nugget is that you have to shift this subconscious set point, not just think positive thoughts on the surface. It needs to be a permanent shift.
Yeah. Okay. Shifting that deep pattern. That sounds like it needs practical steps. Does the source offer actual techniques? habits?
Oh yeah, it offers quite a range, starting with just sensing energy, like holding your hands apart and feeling the sensation, then moving to directing it with visualization, like imagining filling your workspace with positive energy, even energy clearing for a room.
So learning to feel it, point it, and clean it up, basically.
Kind of, yeah. And it stresses mixing the physical with the energetic. So you send out resumes and you visualize getting the job, you exercise, and you consciously feel energy moving. It sees them as working together.
And then it lays out a whole lifestyle almost. Daily habits for keeping your energy high.
It really does, a whole list. Things like food choices, more raw, greens, nuts, seeds, less processed stuff, mindful movement, even gentle exercise. Actively managing thoughts, replacing negative ones, getting enough sleep, 7 and 8 hours, consistent.
Meditation too.
Yep, even just 5 minutes focusing on breath or body sensations. Tidying your space, adding plants, hydration, drinking water all day, spending time with people who uplift you, posture, sitting and standing straight, getting sunlight, maybe 15 minutes.
Some more unusual ones as well.
Yeah, it mentions cold exposure, like ending a shower with cold water, intermittent fasting, like skipping breakfast sometimes, regular cardio and strength training, even things like brief breath holding after exhaling, and using sound humming or chanting, and that touch thing again, feeling energy between your hands.
Wow, that's quite a comprehensive list.
It is. And the source claims that doing these things consistently isn't just for temporary boosts, it builds lasting change, increases your sensitivity to energy, makes maintaining that higher frequency more automatic. The nugget is practice, consistency, making it your default state.
Like building an energetic muscle, yeah. The more you work it, the stronger and more natural it becomes.
Yeah.
Okay, so as the source wraps up, it seems to circle back to those deeper quantum ideas it started with.
It does, yeah. It kind of reinforces the foundation, reiterates the universe's energy following patterns, goes back to the double slit, particles going through both slits, mentions quantum superposition again, energy flowing, all possibilities, thoughts influencing which one manifests.
And adds a couple more quantum terms.
It brings up the quantum Zeno effect, which is roughly the idea that frequent observation can sort of freeze a system. The source links this to holding focus to stabilize an energy pattern you want. Refers back to quantum entanglement, the spooky action connecting everything.
And any new ones towards the end.
It touches on the uncertainty principle, that inherent fuzziness at the quantum level. The source claims this creates quantum fluctuations, and then it makes another leap, claiming these fluctuations give us access to this huge reservoir of zero-point energy that's supposedly all around us.
Okay, so weaving all these complex physics interpretations together, what's the final mindset the source says you need to actually use this stuff?
It really emphasizes expectations and beliefs. It claims they directly interact with these quantum effects. So doubt and fear, according to the source, collapse those quantum possibilities into the things you don't want. Whereas clear intention, absolute certainty, that's what allows you to tap into these effects and shape reality consciously. That's the claim.
And the ultimate outcome of mastering all this, according to the source.
The source claims that through practice, you build the ability to guide quantum processes, to sense quantum fluctuations, and ultimately to reshape how energy moves through reality, basically gaining influence over your circumstances. That's the final promise, the final nugget.
Wow. Okay. We've definitely covered a lot of ground there, unpacking the really ambitious claims in this source material. From reality being fluid and mind-shaped, thoughts and emotions as energy broadcasts from a quantum brain, the power of the heart, interconnectedness through entanglement interpretations, the importance of focus, alignment, that vibrational set point, right through all those daily practices, the deeper quantum principles it pulls in. We really tried to stick to laying out what the source claims, pulling out those key ideas it presents about this hidden force and how it says you can use it.
It certainly presents a whole worldview, doesn't it? A very active role for the individual's internal state in shaping external reality. It's a challenging perspective, which maybe leaves you, the listener, with something to think about. Given the source's heavy emphasis on observation changing things, on energy being interconnected, on your thoughts and feelings supposedly having this direct impact, what might be the potential responsibility that comes with that? If you even entertain the idea that your inner world could actively influence the outer world, what does that imply? Something to maybe mull over after this deep dive.